Welcome back to the channel, everyone. And let's go ahead and take a look at a film that, well, I'm pretty much like a week late getting this review out. Why? Because for some reason I was thinking this was a Christmas film because I've never seen this film before, even though it's considered by many to be an 80s classic, a John Hughes classic, and that is Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's a Thanksgiving film. I thought it was a Christmas film all this time. But you know what? Doesn't matter. I finally had a chance to sit down and check it out. And it's a pretty good film. I definitely think it's one of John Hughes', one of his better films. That he had quite the catalog of great films throughout his career. But this is a film that I could definitely see. It's a film that I think can grow on people the more you watch it. Definitely one of those. I definitely get the feel from this film. It's one of those things that you're going to see. You're going to pick different things out the more you watch it, and you're going to laugh a little bit more every single time you see it. You're going to be like, I remember that scene, and you're going to laugh every single time it happens. And that's exactly the feeling I got checking this out for the very first time. Now, John Candy, Steve Martin, great combination, great chemistry between these two great actors. And basically, you have Steve Martin. He is, he needs to get home. He's in New York. He's on a business trip. He needs to get home to Chicago in order, in time for Thanksgiving. 2 days until Thanksgiving, and things just are not going right for him. First, his meeting is running a little bit too late. He's trying to make, his flight, that 6 o'clock flight, which gets delayed, and before you know it, things are just not working out for him. It gets delayed. He gets bumped from first class down to coach, and John Candy is in the mix here because he runs into John Candy earlier on in New York when he's trying to get a taxi to make it to the airport, and things just go downhill for Steve Martin from there. And of course, the name of the film is what? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and exactly what takes place. First is in a plane. Then we have some trouble with trains, and then we have some problems with automobiles. Automobiles that catch on fire, in particular. And, like I said, it's just a thing. These guys keep running into each other, one thing after another. They wind up staying in a hotel together. An argument ensues. And before you know it, they're ready to go their separate ways. They're brought back together once again. Go separate ways, brought back together once again by circumstance. But at the end of the day, it's all about, Steve Martin because Steve Martin, he's all about business, and family, because he does want to get home to his family. But along the way, this journey, along with John Candy, he learns to deal with, someone like John Candy, because John Candy can be really, he talks a lot, and he really likes to talk a lot in this film. And that's something that Steve Martin has a big problem with right off the bat. He's like, just want this guy to be quiet. Just stop talking. And, along the way, they become friends. By the end of this film, they definitely become friends. And, John Candy, he learns some things along the way, as well as Steve Martin. And you find out some things about John Candy at the end of this film. And, it's a nice, heartwarming, ending to this film, how it does eventually end at the, when we get to the final climax. But the comedy is good. Like I said, we have, fires taking place in cars, wallets that are getting melted in cars, credit cards that are melted. We have money that is being stolen. We have just everything these guys can possibly run into. We have, a train. They finally get onto a train. The train breaks down. We run into situation where they finally, they're able to get a ride getting back into Chicago, and they wind up in the back of this truck it's freezing cold in this back of this truck, but hey, beggars can't be choosers. They have to get home somehow. John Candy wants to get Steve Martin back home to Chicago, to his family in time for Thanksgiving dinner. And it's just an adventure. It's only an hour and a half long, and the things that these guys go through in that hour and a half are they're crazy. But along the way, like I said, they become friends, and it has a really good ending to the film. I really liked how it ended. You could definitely tell, because like I said, I hadn't seen this film before. You could definitely tell that there were certain things, what John Candy was going through, and there's little things that are dropped within the film. You can kind of put little pieces together of what exactly John Candy's life is like and what he's going through. And Steve Martin, of course, he pieces all these together, towards the end of the film, which leads him to, well, most people have seen this film, unlike myself. Most people have seen this film already, which, of course, brings Steve Martin to want to bring John Candy back to his house, for Thanksgiving dinner and meeting his family. Because John Candy, throughout the film, you think, he has a wife and he's married. But at the end, his wife has passed away. And Steve Martin, like I said, he puts the pieces of the puzzle together and figures this out. That something definitely is not right. John Candy tells him, and of course, that brings them even closer together, being friends. So, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, definitely a pretty darn good film. I definitely, I enjoyed it, and like I said, I think it's definitely a film that can grow on you the more you see it. And now I know to watch it on Thanksgiving. Don't wait for Christmas, because it's not a Christmas film. All this time, I thought it was a Christmas film. Well, hey, you know what? You learn something new every single day. So, like, subscribe, and comment if you get the chance, and I will catch you in another episode. Take care. Bye.